beautiful Soldier Mountain. First time up here. With actually one of the owners himself, Daniel Larkin. What's up, guys? Hey, there's some friends. So, Mr. Larkin, how are you doing today?
Good.
It's a beautiful day out here. Look at that.
Oh, it's
Look at that
gorgeous.
view back there. It's amazing.
A little hidden gem.
It is a hidden gem, huh?
Hidden gem of the gem state.
Oh, that's good. I like it. So, tell me real quick, how long you been snowboarding or skiing?
I started skiing when I was 4, and then switched to snowboarding when I was 12, and have been on one plank ever since.
Yeah, but you do a lot of backcountry.
Yes.
And do you do split board or?
Yeah. I mean, I started out doing backcountry with snowshoes, and it's a terrible way to do it. So, yeah, you know, it evolved from side country to, you know, to snowshoeing in the backcountry to, you know, doing it the right way with the split board.
Oh, that's awesome.
I probably get 50 or 60 days in the backcountry every year.
That's amazing. Except for this year, it's been a little rough.
Yeah, it's been rough this year.
So it's not very often you get to sit with someone who actually owns a ski resort. How do you go about owning a ski resort?
Well, you know, there's this old joke where if you want to make a small fortune, you take a big fortune, you buy a ski resort, and you'll end up with a small fortune. No, but it's an
interesting story, right?
It's an interesting story. Believe it or not, I saw a post about a ski resort that was for sale while I was looking for some cabin property, and I'm like, well, if I'm going to buy a cabin and I could just buy a ski resort, why wouldn't I do that?
Yeah.
And then I just put the cabin on the ski resort.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
And it's not that simple, but as I've learned. But I reached out to this couple that owned Soldier Mountain who was selling it, and they were asking an amount that I thought was, you know, at least attractive enough to look at. And started really getting serious when you know, they reached out and said, yeah, we don't have a buyer right now, so if you want the due diligence files, let us know. And I'm like, yeah, send them over. So I come from a pretty long pedigree of pioneers in the snowboarding industry. So my grandpa was an early employee at Burton.
Very cool.
My uncles were amongst the first professional snowboarders in the world, snowboarding when there was like a dozen people snowboarding.
Wow, that's awesome.
And
what did your grandfather do for Burton?
It was his job to pretty much go to all the ski resorts across the country and get them to allow snowboarders to snowboard at the resorts.
Please accept us.
Yeah, he also wrote some of the first insurance policies for ski resorts to insure snowboarding. Him and my uncle wrote some of the first training manuals on snowboard instructing. Yeah, so
that's cool.
Deep, rich history.
That's amazing.
In early snowboarding. So yeah, when I saw Soldier was open for a transaction, I reached out to Paul, my grandpa, first, and I said, hey, do you even know this place? He said, oh yeah. They were one of the only mountains in the 80s that would let us put a half pipe in.
That's cool.
He had spent some time here. I'm like, well, will you look at some of these due diligence files for me? And he's 85 years old, you know, living in Belize. And he was pretty excited, to say the least, when I kind of gave him that opportunity. So he came out of retirement to help me do this deal. And man, he is incredible. He's my hero. The dude like hunted down every document you could possibly think of about the mountain, found some independent assessments on the value of the assets and the property that were done by the Attorney General of the state of Idaho. And this was right when COVID hit, and we ended up taking...
So did that help or hurt the deal for you? I guess, did it help you and hurt them? Or?
It helped us hurt them a bit. I mean, essentially what happened was Bruce Willis owned the place 20 years ago, gave it to a nonprofit. The nonprofit then sold it for not enough money.
Oh, okay.
Which kind of flew a red flag up to the Attorney General, who then investigated it, came up with an independent valuation, which we then found through a Freedom of Information Act claim, and that Paul hunted down and did, and we ended up.
Paul is your grandpa.
Paul's my grandpa, yeah.
Very cool.
He ended up helping us negotiate the price for this place.
Reasonable price.
A much more reasonable price.
That's amazing. And now you come up here with the fam, and your kids are just ripping it.
Yeah, we've put a lot of time, and we put mountain bike trails up here.
In fact, we're going over one right now.
It's some of the best mountain biking in Idaho.
Yeah, look at that.
We had the guys that develop like Deer Valley trails and a lot of the trails in Utah come up and do these. So they are impeccable trails.
It's pretty amazing.
Some of the best like Wood River building mountain bike trails for us. So beautiful rural town, halfway between Boise and Sun Valley. So if you're in the Wood River or Magic Valley or Treasure Valley areas, this is kind of the place to be.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's
well, I have to say, being up here, it's been, I'm actually really impressed. It's a lot of terrain, not a lot of people right now because it's a weekday, but.
Actually, we had a report done about, right after we bought this, by a resort consultancy group that said that Soldier Mountain has the lowest acre to skier to acre ratio.
Okay.
So the most acres with the fewest skiers in the country.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, well, we've been able to get
good for skiers, bad for business.
Well, that's that big fortune, small fortune thing.
Yeah.
Right? Well, we've been able to get some great. You can see off in a distance over there, maybe. But yeah, it's been pretty awesome. Well, hey, thanks for joining me on the chairlift, and hope you have
hit subscribe.
Hope you have a great day. Yeah. All the above.
All of the above.
Okay.